Hey there, welcome to Tim Talks Cooking. I'm Tim, and today I'm going to show you how to make some really delicious keto stuffed chicken breasts, just like these right here. And like these right here, these are single servings. I'm also going to show you how to make 4 different kinds of stuffing that I hope you'll just love. This is a great make-ahead recipe. We're going to end up with 20 portions of chicken breasts that are stuffed with delicious stuffings. I hope you'll try at least one of these recipes. And anyway, I'm kind of excited about it, so let's get started. Our first filling is a Southwestern style filling, and it starts with 4 ounces of cream cheese. That's 125 grams, or a half of a standard package of cream cheese. We're going to add to that an equal amount of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I shred this myself because sometimes it comes with carbohydrate-filled ingredients that keep the shreds from sticking together. We don't want that. Next, I'm going to add in some red onion, about 2 tablespoons of diced red onion. You do this to taste, of course. There we go. Next, some jalapeno pepper that I've diced up. I've also seeded and deveined it. I don't want this to be too spicy. If you like it really spicy, use the seeds and the veins in it. Anyway, about a tablespoon here of jalapeno pepper. I'm also going to add in some fresh chopped garlic, about a tablespoon or so. Again, do this to taste. If you don't have fresh garlic, use a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. That's really going to give this a nice garlicky punch. I'm also going to add in about a half a cup of chopped bacon. Really a delicious ingredient, of course. Next, I'm going to add in some flavorings. Half a teaspoon of chili powder, and half a teaspoon of dried oregano. You could use 2 teaspoons of fresh if you have it. And I'm also going to add in a half a teaspoon of ground cumin. It's really a signature Southwestern ingredient. And I've got one other ingredient here. This is some chopped cilantro. We really like that. If you don't, just leave it out. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little bit more than that. We really like it. And next, we're just going to mix this all up. Here we go. Really nothing to it. And here's what it looks like when it's nice and mixed together. This one is kind of a Mediterranean style filling, or Greek actually. It's kind of modeled off of the classic Greek salad. I start off with 4 ounces of cream cheese and 4 ounces of crumbled goat cheese. Make sure we get all of it in there. I never leave anything behind. No cheese left behind. And next we're going to add in about a half a cup of chopped fresh spinach. It's going to be really delicious in there. And of course some other classic ingredients. Here we've got some sliced red onion. Always do this to taste. I'm going to put in here about a quarter of a cup or so, something like that. We'll just use it all. There we go. This is some chopped tomato that I've seeded, just a little tomato. Looks really nice and it's tasty as well. I'm going to put that in there. I've also got some chopped calamata olives and some fresh oregano. This is about 2 teaspoons of chopped fresh oregano. Use dried if you don't have that, half a teaspoon or so. And we're just going to mix it up. I'm going to use a fork that makes it a little easier. Here's what it looks like when it's nicely mixed together. And again, we're going to set it aside with a little plastic wrap. Our next one is an Italian filling. It starts off with 2 sheets of prosciutto. You could use jambon cru if you have access to that. You could use any kind of ham you like, of course, as well. Here I'm going to place them like this in a little cross pattern, because we're going to make a little package here. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of pesto Genovese. I'll put my recipes link up here on the screen. We're going to add to that a tablespoon of ricotta cheese. This is full fat ricotta. And we're going to punch up the flavor here with a tablespoon of parmigiano, reggiano, or some other type of Parmesan cheese. And of course, we're going to have to add a little freshly ground black pepper. And then we're just going to fold it up here, just like this. Really nothing to it, as you can see. Right in there, pull that up there. There you go. And on to the next. I'm going to make 3 of these. There we go. Aren't they cute? And on to the next. This filling is another Italian filling. We're going to do kind of a pizza style filling here. It starts off with 3 tablespoons of ricotta cheese. And of course I like to get it all out of my little dish there. There we go. And I'm going to add to that 2 or 3 tablespoons of parmigiano, reggiano, or some other parmesan-style cheese, of course, whatever you have on hand. To this, I'm going to add half a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. I shred my own. And there we go, get that in there. I'm going to mix these up a little bit with a wooden spoon. Really, or a fork or whatever you have. I don't know why I mentioned that. Anyway, a little black pepper, of course. A couple of grinds, not too much. Mix that in. And how about a little crushed red pepper flake? I'm going to put about half a teaspoon in. It's not going to make it spicy. It's going to enhance the flavor. And it's kind of pretty as well. Get that in there. I'm not going to mix in the other ingredients that I have here. But you can, of course, use for the next step any pizza toppings you like. For me, that starts off with some pizza sauce. This is about a tablespoon per portion of pizza sauce, and I'll put the link to my pizza sauce recipe on the screen right there. I got about a quarter of a cup there. I've also got some sausage. I have some pepperoni that I've cut in quarters so it'll fit in there better. I've also got some red bell pepper that I've diced, as well as some red onion. Next, to prepare the chicken breasts, here we go. This is right out of the package here. Here I want to clean off some of the excess fat that's on top of it. We really don't want that. It's unattractive, and I don't know, I just don't like it. I'm also going to trim off some of the excess parts there. Here we got a little bit of the thigh stuck on there. We're going to slice that right off of there. And any other connective tissue that's near there. We're also going to look for cartilage that the trimmer didn't manage to get off of there in the factory. So there we go. Now we're going to make a pocket in this, and I've got a really sharp little knife that I've got, and we're going to stick that right in one end like that, and we're going to create a pocket inside. Notice I've got my hand laying on top of it. That's so that I can feel the progression of the knife through the chicken breast, and it's also going to help me not cut through that other side like that. We're going to check out the pocket with our index finger really quick to make sure we've made it big enough. Here you can see that right here in front, I can cut a little bit more so that we can put even more delicious filling in there. There we go, just like that. Check it with your finger, and we're ready to stuff. The next part is to put the stuffing in. Now, of course, the stuffing for all of these is pretty much the same. For this one, a little different because the components are not all mixed together. We're going to start with a little cheese. Get that in there. Next, a little sausage. There we go. I'm going to use all of the ingredients, but if I didn't, I would throw away what I didn't use. I'm contaminating everything with chicken as I go along. So there we go. Stuff that in there. And our pepperoni. Push things down to the bottom of the pocket if you can. Let's add in a little tomato sauce. A little bit of that in there. Probably make a little bit of a mess. That's all right. There we go. And then next I'm going to add in some of the vegetables. Got some bell pepper here. Of course, we've got the a little more cheese. We've got the onion in there too. And there we go. I'm going to clean it off with a paper towel. Just a little bit, just like that. And then I'm going to seal up the hole by using a toothpick. I'm just going to use one, and I'm just going to stick it in there. Now, if you made holes in yours, you're going to want to hold them together with toothpicks as well. Don't be afraid to use more than one toothpick. Here we are. There they all are, 10 chicken breasts. They're already stuffed. They're in our tray. I'm going to cover them with plastic, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for at least an hour, if not more. And here they are, fresh out of the fridge. They don't look any different, but the filling inside of them is more solid, and it's going to hold up better to the next step, which is to brown them. Before we do that, though, we need to prepare them a little bit. That's going to start off with some extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to brush that on to both sides of each of these chicken breasts. be generous, because the better you're covering up oil, the better a chance you have at browning all of the surfaces. And that's going to enhance the flavor of everything. We're going to add some kosher salt and, of course, some freshly ground black pepper. We're going to do this to the other side as well. Turn them over to add more seasoning. My skillet has been heating for about 3 minutes over medium-high heat on the stove, and it's really sizzling hot here. I'm going to take my breasts and put them in the pan just like this. I don't want to crowd it too much, but I can fit about 3 of these big breasts in one large skillet. I'm going to add some freshly ground pepper on top because apparently I didn't pepper that side. That's okay, we'll get it now. And we'll let them go for at least 2 minutes without moving them at all, maybe 3. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees or 190 Celsius for the next step after this. When they're ready, we're going to turn them over. We're going to try to get them as brown as we can on all sides. That's going to take a little while, so some patience is necessary here. And here's what they look like when they're done browning. These are ready for the oven, and we're going to stick them in there. They're going to take about 30 to 35 minutes to bake all the way through. When you bring them out, they look like this. And you want to make sure you check the internal temperature to see if they're done. They're done when they reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 72 degrees Celsius. Here's one of the pesto chicken breasts. I'm going to cut it in half so you can see the inside now that it's finished cooking. Look at that beautiful filling. Well, all right, let's give it a taste. Here I've got one of the pesto ones, and it really looks and smells fabulous. Oh, the pesto with that delicious creamy ricotta and the parmigiano reggiano. Plus, the chicken is moist and juicy and tender. I think you're going to love this recipe. Anyway, listen, I hope you try it. I also hope that you will like, share, especially on Facebook, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel grow, and it helps you find my videos. Thanks for joining us here today at Tim Talks Cooking. We'll catch you next time.